Right, we are going to go through a very quick history of the circus, and the two questions that I want you to think about are: what were the first circuses like, and how are they different now? So here are some photos of some old circuses. Please pause if you want to look closer. The first circus was actually in ancient Rome. It comes from the Latin word circus. It's a Latin word, comes from the word circle. And they had these big round stadiums like the Colosseum. This one's a bit more oval, I guess. And people would sit around so they could see everything. In those circuses, they would have things like chariot racing and gladiator fighting. So it was about being soldiers and being ready for war, because the Romans had lots of wars. And this is Circus Maximum today. It was so long ago, it is gone. Ancient China had some circuses too. They had lots of acrobats. In fact, they were very good. And we also had some animals there, a bit more familiar for what we think of circuses. In 1768, somebody created, Philip Astley, here he is, created a horse riding circus in London. It was the first of its kind after the Roman ones in Europe. And they got really popular and people created more, but they had so many animals, they were quite like zoos. Then, in the USA, about 100 years after that, we had Barnum and Bailey, and you might know him as the Greatest Showman if you've seen the film. There'll be some clips in the next video. You can see here all the wires of the acrobats, the elephants. So still quite different. The Ringling Brothers were actually in partners with Barnum and Bailey. They actually invented the circus train. So they put all the animals and the people on the train and go from city to city. You can see their big top here. And lots of tigers, which looks a little dangerous, I feel. The Moscow State Circus, Mr. Lenin, 1919. You may have been to Lenin Park and seen the statue of him. They were really good acrobats as well, and they also had some animals. They're still around today, this Moscow State Circus. Circuses today are super different. They use much less animals because it's kind of cruel to the way the animals were looked after. Cirque du Soleil is originally a French circus. It's in Las Vegas. I have been to see one of these shows. They're pretty weird and wonderful, as you can see from these costumes. Lots of great acrobatics. Moscow State Circus, still around. It's known as one of the best circuses in the world. And the Chinese State Circus is also an incredible circus. They don't use animals, they just use people, and they're some of the best acrobats in the world. So lots of really good pictures there to go back and look through. And there'll also be some videos on the slideshow, which will show you differences, and you can have a look, and then there'll be a spot the difference activity. All right, so enjoy, and see you soon.